We'd like to give a special thanks to Recon Velocity for your continued support of CBT News during these difficult times. We couldn't provide the much-needed news and information to the retail automotive industry without it. From our studios in Atlanta, this is CBT News.
Jim Fitzpatrick with CBT News. Thanks so much for joining us as we have another edition here for combating the challenge, I should say, that we've got with COVID-19 and all that goes along with that. And we're so happy to bring back Mr. Tom Maoli. I know that you know this gentleman if you've been in the auto industry for any longer than a day. He's on Fox News. He's one of our great spokespersons for the auto industry. He's the real deal. He's a New Jersey auto dealer, high volume, luxury car dealer. This guy sits right there at the pinnacle. And Tom, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us on CBT.
No, thanks for the fabulous introduction, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, sure. And so let's kind of start. We spoke to you about a month ago. Correct. And this thing just started getting going. Everybody's kind of, shell shocked. What does it mean? The close down, the whole deal. You had reported to us then that your business was like 80% off.
Yeah, exactly.
Sales. It was not looking good. Kind of bring us up to date since then. How are things going in sales and service in your market?
Well, it's an interesting transition in what's going on in the marketplace. I think, my opinion is that people are starting to get restless. And when people get restless, they do things that are outside of the norm. And I think what's going on now is people are getting out of their houses. Our service departments have picked up. On a daily basis, our service is growing. It's interesting because when I pull in the morning into my office and I see the loaner car fleet and all of them empty and gone, I kind of realize what's going on. People are coming out. So service has picked up. We were at probably about a 20% of historical volumes. I would say right now we're at about 60% of historical volumes. So, not bad, bad, right? Yeah. I mean, and on the sales side, we went from, about 4 weeks ago, we started, and we were selling about 2-3 cars a day. And then about a week and a half ago to 2 weeks ago, it started being 5 cars a day. And, then it was 8 cars a day. And, I got the report from all my sales managers around the globe, and it's 10 cars a day now. So people are coming out. Not bad, Yeah. And interestingly enough is gross profits are up because people don't want to shop from store to store to store the way they used to do. They're afraid to go into these stores, so they want to go once. So gross profits are up. Volume-wise, I would say we're at about 50% of historical volumes on sales. So not bad. I mean, listen, we got a ways to go, but we're getting there.
Can the store turn a profit at those volumes?
Well, it's interesting. The answer is no. Our overhead is, you have a fixed overhead and then you have a variable overhead. Our variable overhead is way down because clearly we've laid off about 80% of the staff. Okay. And we'll talk about that too because we started bringing some of them back. But right now we're in a good position. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we're in a good position because we did get the PPP money. Okay. So right now, all of the sales and all of the service become pure profit because PPE pays our rent. PPE money pays for the employees' salaries. Right. So, other than that, I mean, you have some overhead, but it's really, pure profit. So, yeah, we will turn a profit, in May and June. But when we start getting into July, if we don't come out of this and the governor doesn't get us going and they don't allow us to open the doors again, it's going to be trouble. Yeah.
What's your take on that? What kind of job do you think the governor's doing there in New Jersey with managing this crisis? And when do you think we will see things? I don't want to say back to normal because it's way overused, or it's a new normal or what have you. But at least back to a sustainable level.
Well, listen, I think the governor's done a great job. Although I think the time's up. Yeah. First of all, when it comes to my business, car dealerships, I'm a real estate developer also, but when it comes to car dealerships, we can social distance better than supermarkets. So I don't know why, and we're the largest tax revenue stream for the state that by far none. So I don't understand why they're not opening us up, but clearly there's some paranoia, but I think the time is up.
What do you say to the officials, whoever they may be, the governors or city councils or mayors. What do you say to them that say, well, hold on a minute, Tom, if we open up the city again or the businesses, it's only going to get worse out there, and then it's going to cost us more lives?
Well, listen, I say, you know what? Let the people make the decision whether they want to take that risk and they want to go out or not. And, listen, I think you do it safely. You wear masks. If you want to wear gloves, that's fine. You put protective shields in the dealerships and in restaurants and in food stores like they have when you go to the cash register at a food store. But I think it's a personal decision. At the end of the day, if it's flu season and I decide that I want to go out and everybody around me has the flu, that's my prerogative. If I don't care, I don't think I'm going to get it, or I want to take that risk, or by the way, maybe I need to take that risk because I need to earn a living for my family, then that's my choice. And I think that's where we're at. I really do.
What is your take on the job that Trump is doing during this COVID-19 situation? And do you think he's the man to get us out of it?
Well, listen, I think he's done an amazing job, except they have him handcuffed. And, they have him, he's in a no-win situation. No matter what he does, they find wrong in it. And I think he was very smart in laying it off on the governors. Let the governors make the decision. I mean, that was a great decision. The reality of it is they're the feet on the street. They know what's going on in their local communities. They know where the hot spots are. They know what businesses can and can't open. And I think it was smart. Plus, it got him out of the hot seat. And because no matter what decision he made, they were going to find fault with it. And we're in the middle of an election year. I mean, he had to protect his election.
Yeah, for sure. And having said that, let's talk a little bit about the election. Do you think what impact do you think that will have? I mean, the election is just, 5 months away or something like that. So what impact will that have on this whole situation and also on the economy?
It's interesting. I want to finish one point, and we'll get to the election in a second, but I want to finish one point regarding the governors and Trump and President Trump and what job he's doing and how this whole thing is going and whether he's the guy to get us out of it. Right. I said this on Fox News the other day, and I said, listen, if we were hit with a bomb, and, I don't want to go there because I think we were. I think this was biological. But if we were hit with a bomb, and I were the president, what would I do? I would send the troops out and to defend the health, safety, welfare of the American people and the prosperity of America for everything that historical generations have built and future generations. That's why we send troops out, and that's why we fight wars. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, there's going to be some casualties when you make that decision. And I think we're at the point right now as a country where we need to protect the prosperity of our country for future generations, our children and future generations. It's being eroded. It's being destroyed. It's being undermined.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And, so back to the election, I think, listen, I think it's going to be a very interesting election year because, it's historical. I don't know, if the polls are going to open. I don't know if people are going to be able to get out. You can't have rallies. You can't have gatherings. You can't promote yourself. So it's going to be interesting, But, listen, I think I don't think that there's any Democratic opponent that can beat, President Trump. And clearly it sounds, selfish because I'm a supporter and a friend of his, but I don't think there's anyone that could beat him right now. I think he's done just an amazing job. And I think the reality of it is, if you have Tom Brady, right, from who won, 5, 6, 7 Super Bowls, and you're going into a Super Bowl, don't you want Tom Brady? I mean, look what this man has done with the economy. You clearly want him back in there to try and get us back to where we were. I'm not so sure that anyone can do that because no one has ever done what he has done.
Talk to us, switching gears a little bit back to the dealership operation. Talk to us about the used car market. Last time we talked to you, you're a little bit cautious. You said it's a game changer in terms of how we appraise cars untraded, yes. But I know you've got a huge lease market there. So yes. Maybe it's not as much of an issue. Let the OEMs or the captives worry about those residual values. But
listen, used cars are a big issue right now. Yeah. I've told my guys to get out of all cars that are over 60 days old. Get out of them. I don't want to see any of them on the lots. The values are depreciating because when those cars sit and no one buys them, the values depreciate. You have to get at them. You got to move them. I don't see used car values going up. I don't see, there's some theory, people that have theories out there that because the production is down on the new side that the used car value is going to go up. I don't see it. I don't see it. Listen, production's down. Manufacturers have cut production, but sales are down. So I think they're very smart at what they're doing. They need to make sure that they don't have too much inventory and they're carrying too much inventory. Listen, can you get it right? No one ever gets it perfect. It goes back to the conversation about the president. No one ever gets it perfect, but yeah, I think they've done a good job in adjusting. I think Lexus has done a great job. Toyota's done a great job. BMW, Mercedes-Benz. I think all these companies have done a great job adjusting their inventories and their production. And I don't see used cars values going up. I see them going down. And I think that anybody that's sitting on used cars needs to get out of them as quick as possible.
Digital retailing. I know we touched on this last time that we spoke about a month ago. It seems to be, the OEMs jumped in a big way and said, oh, we'll deliver the car right to your front door, whether you're Lincoln or Hyundai or whoever is out there. And it seems as though that is the buzzword or the buzzwords is, digital retailing in a big way. It probably took this event for dealers to jump in with both feet and say, okay, uncle, we're in, we get it. We need to be in digital retailing. Do you think it's really changed the way people will acquire their vehicles?
It's changed, but listen, you still need showrooms. I've been having conversations with the manufacturers for a while now. I think, listen, the future of digital retailing sales for automobile dealerships. Clearly, I understand it's scary. Everyone's scared about it, and the old timers are scared about it. They want to see people in their showroom, and I get it. But if you ask me where the future is, I see the future in that you're going to need a showroom because people want to come in and see the car. Yeah. Some people want to sit in it. They want to see the features. They want to touch the leathers. Okay, so you're going to need a showroom. They want to test drive the car. But if they can buy it online, and I actually think it'll be better for the dealers, and the manufacturer can be like Apple and have one price shopping. And we're not cutting each other's gross profits, and the consumer doesn't have to run around to 22 dealerships to try and get a $500 discount on the car, wasting $400 in gas trying to do it. And we can have one price shopping. Then what happens is we can show the consumer the car. They can order it online. We become a delivery center. We still have F&I sales, and we're a service center. And I have to tell you, I would welcome that and sign up for that tomorrow because my profits would be out the roof.
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the pricing, certainly the affordability, which we can touch on in the next show, but at $38,000 for the average price of a car, that's the next wave that's going to hit our industry outside of COVID-19.
That's right.
Is addressing the affordability because families can't afford that. These kind of cars that we're selling.
That's correct. And the reality of it is why can I go to an Apple store in New Jersey or in New York or in Miami, Florida, and buy the same iPhone and the same earphones and pay the same price? That's the way it should be.
I know. And the time has come for that, right? For sure.
I think so. I think we're here.
Tom Maoli, President and CEO of Celebrity Motor Cars and Real Estate Mogul and host of Go Big or Go Home radio show. I want to thank you so much for joining us here on CBT News.
No, thanks for having me on.
Whenever you're on. So, man, hopefully we can come back and visit with you again.
Yeah, well, listen, hopefully when we get back, we're at 80% and, looking to get to 100. So, all good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Today's Quote of the Day, sponsored by Recon Velocity. Get your cars retail ready faster.